As people age, one of the most insidious changes in metabolism is the increasing risk of insulin resistance, a condition in which the body cells become less responsive to insulin, the hormone responsible for moving glucose out of the bloodstream and into tissues for energy. This decline in insulin sensitivity is subtle at first, often going unnoticed until weight begins to creep up or blood sugar readings become abnormal. Yet it plays a central role in age-related weight gain, especially the accumulation of abdominal or visceral fat, which itself feeds back into worsening insulin resistance. This creates a self-perpetuating cycle where hormonal dysfunction and fat storage reinforce one another, leading not only to obesity, but also to a higher risk of chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and even cognitive decline. The physiological mechanisms behind insulin resistance in older adults are complex, but well documented. As the body ages, several factors combine to impair the effectiveness of insulin. Muscle mass decreases, and since muscle is a major site of glucose disposal, this directly reduces the body's ability to clear sugar from the bloodstream. At the same time, fat mass tends to increase, especially in the abdominal region. Visceral fat is metabolically active and releases inflammatory compounds and free fatty acids into the bloodstream, which interfere with insulin signaling. The result is a condition where more insulin is needed to achieve the same effect, an overload that can exhaust pancreatic function and further destabilize glucose control over time. Hormonal changes compound the problem. In both men and women, age-related declines in estrogen, testosterone, and growth hormone are linked to worsened insulin sensitivity and increased fat deposition. These hormonal shifts make it easier for the body to store fat and harder to use it as fuel. The body's metabolic flexibility, its ability to switch between burning carbohydrates and fats, becomes impaired, leading to increased fat storage even when calorie intake remains stable. In addition, cellular mitochondria, the engines of energy metabolism, often function less efficiently with age, further decreasing the body's ability to burn glucose and fat effectively. The most visible symptom of insulin resistance is often central weight gain. Unlike fat stored in the hips or thighs, abdominal fat is hormonally dangerous. It surrounds the liver and other vital organs, disrupting their function and releasing inflammatory mediators that poison the metabolic system from within. Even people who are not technically obese by BMI standards can carry excess visceral fat and be metabolically unhealthy, a condition sometimes referred to as TOFI, thin outside, fat inside. This is particularly common among older adults, where muscle loss and fat gain can shift body composition toward higher health risk despite a normal body weight. The consequences of ignoring insulin resistance in aging are serious. Over time, elevated insulin and glucose levels damage blood vessels, nerves, and organs. They increase blood pressure, elevate triglycerides, lower HDL cholesterol, and promote a pro-inflammatory, prothrombotic environment in the bloodstream. All of these raise the risk of heart attack and stroke. Insulin resistance also impairs cognitive function by reducing glucose delivery to the brain and increasing the risk of Alzheimer's disease, which some researchers now call type 3 diabetes, due to its close ties to insulin dysfunction. Yet despite these warnings, the trajectory of insulin resistance in aging is not unchangeable. It can be slowed, halted, or even reversed with targeted lifestyle interventions. Foremost among these is regular physical activity. Exercise sensitizes cells to insulin, making it easier for glucose to enter muscles rather than remain in circulation. Resistance training is especially effective as it increases lean muscle mass, restoring one of the body's key glucose sinks. Aerobic activity, such as brisk walking or swimming, also improves insulin sensitivity, cardiovascular health, and fat metabolism. Diet plays an equally crucial role. Reducing intake of refined carbohydrates and added sugars helps prevent glucose spikes and minimizes the burden on insulin-producing cells. A nutrient-dense, anti-inflammatory diet rich in fiber, omega-3 fats, and antioxidants supports metabolic balance and helps regulate appetite. Higher protein diets may also aid older adults by supporting muscle maintenance and reducing post-meal glucose levels. Foods with a low glycemic index, like legumes, whole grains, and non-starchy vegetables, can blunt the insulin response and promote more stable blood sugar levels throughout the day. Other lifestyle changes, such as improving sleep and managing stress, are also vital. Poor sleep disrupts glucose metabolism and increases appetite hormones, while chronic stress elevates cortisol, which can worsen insulin resistance and encourage abdominal fat gain. Restorative practices like mindfulness, consistent sleep schedules, and exposure to natural light during the day all support healthier metabolic rhythms and hormone regulation. Importantly, early signs of insulin resistance often present silently. A person may gain a few inches around the waist, feel more fatigued after meals, or notice that it's harder to lose weight despite consistent effort. These early changes are critical signals, and addressing them early can prevent the cascade of metabolic dysfunction that often follows. Simple blood tests like fasting insulin, glucose, and hemoglobin A1C can provide valuable insight into how well the body is managing blood sugar and can guide interventions before more serious disease develops. In conclusion, insulin resistance is one of the most underappreciated yet powerful drivers of age-related weight gain and metabolic decline. Its effects extend beyond fat storage to every system in the body, accelerating aging from the inside out. But it is not an inevitable consequence of growing older. With awareness, regular movement, mindful eating, and stress regulation, the tide can be turned. Rather than surrendering to a slow metabolic breakdown, older adults can take active steps to maintain insulin sensitivity, preserve energy, and enjoy healthier, more resilient aging.